I shall now ask Mrs. Amajiman, our Cabinet Secretary, to read the notice of the meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Notice of meeting. Notice is hereby given that the annual general meeting of the members of Unilever Ghana Limited will be held at the Ghana College of Physicians and Surgeons, Accra, on Friday, 24th May 2019 at 10 a.m. for the following purposes. 1. To receive the report of the directors, the financial position as at 31st December 2018, together with the accounts for the year ended on that date, and the reports of the auditors thereon. 2. To declare dividend. 3. To re-elect the following directors: Mrs. Adisula Sotande Peters, Mrs. Nanaya Owusu-Ansah, Mr. Alfred Nsako, and Mr. Michael Ube. 4. To approve the terms of appointment of a director. 5. To approve directors' fees. 6. To authorize the directors to fix the remuneration of the auditor. 7. To pass the following resolution. Special business. 1. To amend Regulation 53(1) and 2 of the company's regulations to include Regulation 53(a) and (b) as follows. A. The electronic version of the annual report and financial statements shall be posted on the business website as follows: www.unileverghana.com, and same forwarded to the email addresses of shareholders before annual general meetings. B. A limited number of hard copies of the annual report will be made available to shareholders at the grounds of the annual general meeting for use by shareholders attending the meeting. A member of the company entitled to attend and vote is entitled to appoint a proxy to attend and vote instead of him. A proxy need not be a member. A form of proxy is attached, and if it's to be valid for the purposes of the meeting, it must be completed and deposited at the registered office of the registrars of the company, Universal Merchant Bank, Ghana Limited, not less than 48 hours before the meeting. Dated this 8th day of March 2019 by order of the board.
I'll now ask Mrs. Evelyn Adiko, representative of the auditors, KPMG, to read the auditor's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The independent auditor's report to the members of Unilever Ghana Limited can be found on pages 22 to 24 of the annual report and financial statements. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the report on the audit of financial statements. Our opinion. We have audited the financial statements of Unilever Ghana Limited, the company, which comprise the statements of financial position as at 31st December 2018, and the statements of comprehensive income, changes in equity and cash flows for the year then ended, and the notes to the financial statements, which include a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory notes are set out on pages 25 to 71. In our opinion, these financial statements give a true and fair view of the financial position of Unilever Ghana Limited at 31 December 2018 and of its financial performance and cash flows for the year then ended in accordance with international financial reporting standards and in the manner required by the Companies Act 1963, Act 179. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the basis for our opinion. We conducted our audit in accordance with international standards on auditing, ISAs. Our responsibilities under those standards are further described in the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements section of our report. We are independent of the company in accordance with the International Ethics Standards Board for Accountants Code of Ethics and Professional Accountants, ISBA Code, together with the ethical requirements that are relevant to our audit of the financial statements in Ghana, and we have fulfilled our other ethical responsibilities in accordance with the ISBA code. We believe that the audit evidence we have obtained is sufficient and appropriate to provide a basis for our opinion. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the remaining reports I will summarize. The next section of the report deals with key audit matters. Key audit matters are those matters that, in our professional judgment, were of most significance in our audit of the financial statements of the current period. These matters are addressed in the context of our audit of the financial statements as a whole and informing our opinion thereon, and we do not provide a separate opinion on these matters. On key audit matters, the areas we identified are revenue recognition and inventory valuation, which are included in our report. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the next section would be on other information. In connection with our audit of the financial statements, our responsibility is to read the other information, and in doing so, consider whether the other information is materially inconsistent with the financial information or our knowledge obtained in the audit, or otherwise appears to be materially misstated. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing to report in this regard. The next session will be on responsibilities of the directors for the financial statements. The directors are responsible for the preparation of financial statements that give a true and fair view in accordance with international financial reporting standards and in the manner required by the Companies Act 1963, Act 179, and for such internal control as the directors determine is necessary to enable the preparation of financial statements that are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error. Mr. Chairman, the next section will be the auditor's responsibilities for the audit of the financial statements. Our objectives are to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements as a whole are free from material misstatement, whether due to fraud or error, and to issue an auditor's report that includes our opinion. In addition, we communicate with the directors regarding, among other matters, the planned scope and timing of the audit and significant audit findings, including any significant deficiencies in internal control that we identify during our audit. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, our report on other legal and regulatory requirements. Compliance with the requirements of Section 133 of the Companies Act 1963, Act 179. We have obtained all the information and explanations which, to the best of our knowledge and belief, were necessary for the purpose of our audit. In our opinion, proper books of accounts have been kept, and the statements of financial position and comprehensive income are in agreement with the books of account. The engagement partner of the audit resulting in this auditor's report is Anthony Kwesi-Sapon, signed on behalf of KPMG. Thank you.
We will now continue with the first item on the agenda. I'll be pleased to answer any questions you may have on the annual report and financial statements. But before taking any questions, permit me to present to you the highlights of your company's operations last year from the chairman's statement. Once again, it is my pleasure and privilege to address and present to you the Director's annual report and the audited financial statements for the year ended 31st December 2018. Review of the global economy. In 2018, the global economy began on an upbeat note, and was projected to grow at 3.7%, buoyed by a pickup in global manufacturing and trade through 2017. In the course of the year, investors' confidence in the global economic outlook lost steam, so did the upswing. One reason behind this loss in momentum is the implementation of tariffs by major economies, especially the United States, and retaliatory measures taken by others, including China. The increasingly protectionist rhetoric on trade has meant high uncertainty about trade policy, which weighs on future investment decisions. Despite these actions, the US economy expanded at a fast pace in 2018 as tax cuts and spending increases stimulated demand. The US Federal Reserve has continued to raise the policy interest rate as a result. Interest rates on US long-term bonds have increased as investors see risks to future growth and value the safety of US Treasury securities. As growth and interest rates in the United States have outpaced those in other major economies, the US dollar has appreciated against most other currencies in 2018. Some vulnerable emerging market economies have come under strain as the US dollar gained value, and the level of risk that global financial investors were prepared to accept dropped in 2018. Most of these countries have seen increases in the external borrowing costs, but the extent of these increases have varied widely. These developments affected the performance of the Ghanaian economy in 2018 and by extension, our company Unilever Ghana Limited. Review of the economy of Ghana. We saw sluggish growth from 2014 to 2016. However, Ghana's economy accelerated to a growth rate of 8.5% in 2017, making it the second fastest growing African economy, trailing only behind Ethiopia. The year was off to a strong start. Growth for the first quarter of 2018 was 6.8%, above the 6.7% recorded in 2017, primarily driven by the continued expansion of oil production. Overall GDP growth for 2018 is estimated at 5.6%. In September 2018, Ghana rebased its GDP from 2006 to 2013. The rebased 2017 GDP is 24.6% greater than the previous 2017 GDP. Private consumption increased by 6.2% of GDP in 2018. The economy is projected to grow by 7.3% in 2019, and that is by the Ministry of Finance and the Government of Ghana. However, the IMF has projected that Ghana will grow at an even faster rate of 8.8%. However, we expect a slower growth of 5.4% in 2020 as the effect of increased oil production from new wells fade. Inflation trended downwards from 11.8% in December 2017 to 9.4% in December 2018, remaining broadly anchored within the medium-term target band of 8 plus or minus 2%. It's the lowest inflation rate since December 2012, as prices slowed for both food and non-food products. The decline in inflation was mainly driven by non-food prices on account of relatively stable exchange rate developments. In 2018, the Bank of Ghana embarked on a recapitalization exercise for banks, and this ended in December 2018 with a total of 23 banks meeting the minimum capital requirement. These banks are sound, liquid, and well capitalized and well positioned to translate the gains made from 2 years of far-reaching reform to the rest of the economy, according to the Bank of Ghana. At the end of December 2018, total assets of the banking sector grew by 14.7% year-on-year to 107.3 billion. Going forward, growth in industry assets is expected to rebound as banks deploy their newly injected capital towards financial intermediation. Let me add that in the course of the year, the difficulties in the financial sector affected our business, and especially the business of many of our distributors who banked with some of the banks which were taken over or consolidated in the consolidated bank. We expect this to improve in 2019. The Ghanaian cedi stabilized against major currencies, except for a slight depreciation against the US dollar in the second quarter of 2018. The cedi depreciated by 8.4% in 2018 to the dollar, compared to 4.9% in 2017. Against the euro, it recorded a depreciation of 3.9% in 2018 versus a 16.2% in 2017. We, however, saw a volatile cedi in March and April 2019 because Ghana was leaving the fund and the government had to meet minimum reserve requirements. Despite the positive outlook, Ghana faces potential domestic and global headwinds. On the domestic front, the government faces a challenge in bridging its financing needs. The domestic revenues at about 10% of GDP and gross financing needs of more than 20% of GDP. This challenge is compounded by a high external debt to GDP ratio. On the external front, dependence on primary commodity exports continues to expose the economy to international commodity price shocks, which could weaken GDP growth. Ghana is gradually building industrial capacity, and growth in industry is projected at 9.8% in 2019 and 5.9% in 2020. Recent trends reflect more machinery in the country's import basket. Between 2000 and 2017, the total value of machinery imports increased fourfold to $670 million. This rapid increase in machinery imports had a substantial adverse effect on the country's current account balance, but reflects a gradual shift towards industrialization, especially the use of machinery for the agricultural sector. Review of the political environment. Political stability will remain underpinned by Ghana's strong democratic credentials. The government prioritizes industrialization as a means of job creation and economic growth, but a tight fiscal policy will restrain the pace of progress. Headline economic growth will be strong, but will be concentrated around the oil and gas sector, with the non-oil sector expected to pick up from 2019 onwards, underpinned by pro-business reforms and steady improvement in power supply. Business performance. Unilever Ghana Limited results for the year ended 31st December 2018 shows a revenue growth of 10% from Ghana cedis 575 million in 2017 to 632 million in 2018, mostly due to an increase in volume sold. Operating profit before tax was 250 million cedis, representing a 283% increase over 2017's 65 million. Profit after tax therefore improved by 296% to 191 million compared to 48 million in 2017. Included in the operating profit for the year is an amount of 89 million being profit on disposal of the spreads business, which was disposed of in 2018, and a reversal of management and technical services fees provision amounting to 111 million cedis. Dividend. The board of directors hereby propose a dividend payout of 80 Ghana pesos per share from the 2018 profits, amounting in total to 50 million Ghana cedis. Board changes. In the course of 2018, Mr. Yu Zelbetan, Managing Director of the company, resigned on 1st November 2018. Mrs. Gladys Anwar, formerly the Customer Development Director and a member of the board, was promoted to the position of Managing Director effective 1st November 2018. Mr. Michael Ube was appointed as the Customer Development Director effective 1st November 2018. Mr. Michael Ube has been with Unilever for the last 16 years with experience spanning from customer management, customer operations, and customer marketing. He has previously worked with the Customer Development Center for Excellence, Hindustan Unilever, India, in the capacity of Customer Development Operations Manager, where his key task, in addition to day-to-day customer operations, was to lead the delivery of leading-edge capability in the front end, measured by delivery of many projects that deliver efficiency and cost-effectiveness in operations, and looking at current sales and management processes, understanding, taking insight from evolving technology, and defining a service and product mix that can ensure a quantum jump in process efficiency. Prior to his international assignment, Michael held various positions in Unilever Nigeria, the Route to Market and Wholesale Transformation Lead Nigeria, General Sales Manager East Nigeria, Regional Sales Manager South East Nigeria, Customer Marketing Manager Foods, Trade Category Manager Foods, and Field Sales Manager across various regions in northern and southern Nigeria. Until his recent appointment, he was the Customer Development Director for Distributed Trade in Nigeria. Michael, welcome to the board. Michael is Nigerian, was born in Nkoko, Ghana in 1975, and is married with children. So he's really Ghanaian. The following is the list of the current directors of your company. Mrs. Gladys Anwar, who is the managing director, who is on maternity leave. Mr. Nazir Jacob, who has been introduced. Everyone has been introduced already. Dr. Mrs. Edith Dankwa, Mr. Philip Odota Isoa, Mr. Alfred Yao Odron Sako, Mrs. Angela Piazza, Mrs. Adisola Sotande Peters, Mrs. Nanaya Ozuanza, and myself, Edward Efa, the board chairman. The profiles of the board members, I would like us to take it as read, so we don't have to go through all of them. So that is my statement to you, our shareholders. On behalf of the board, I'd like to say a very big thank you to all our shareholders for taking the time to be with us, for your continued faith in the company, and for continuing to support the vision of Unilever Ghana Limited. I would also like to thank the management and the staff for their hard work and commitment, through which we've been able to deliver these good results, and the company continues to thrive. Thank you very much.